Good evening and good morning to all of us. In this very trying time, we are able to come together as an industry in a way we never thought we would. We are a tangible industry. We are an industry that looks forward to hugs and kisses. But now, this is the way of the world, and we are grateful for technology and happy to be able to connect. We will enter back into our salons. We will be able to share our passion and our desire of education. The launch of Organics was done via video, where I shared the process of the mixing, of the compounding, as well as all of the information. COVID-19 has put a spin in all of our lives. But the silver lining is that I'm able to be with all of you today, face to face, to launch what is new and what is exciting. From online platforms like Zoom that have proven to be very powerful, successful, and positive. From classes to trainings or simply just a meeting, it has allowed us to share, to educate, and make us stronger than ever. We've stayed connected and we've stayed motivated in these very difficult times. Zoom and platforms are our new way, and they truly are here to stay. On Monday, from our salon studio in Spain, we launched our online academy. It allowed us to enter into salons, to share information, and to educate. With this being available for all of our salons worldwide, we were able to connect to more than 600 people in a new way of educating. It proved to be extremely successful. So with that being said, I'm excited today to be with our global distributors, as well as our sales coaches and our educators, to introduce what is new, to introduce our launch. With instant gratification being at the forefront and everything needing to be done so quickly, I began over a year and a half ago working on a color project that would answer the need of a flash color with optimum condition. Ironically, time is not only the concern today. Today, the concern is how much time is spent in one place. With the reopening of salons and the restrictions on time spent, as well as the number of people allowed in one place at one time, especially our salons, Insta could have not come at a better moment. Welcome to the launch of Insta Tone, a colored gel, a series of tone that work instantly to give you perfection. In 5 to 20 minutes, you're able to achieve color unlike any. A toning color that modifies and alters your chosen tonal hue without altering your natural base, a key point. Staying true to our concept of ecotech, it is environmentally friendly, it's PBD free, pH balanced, and ammonia free, promoting nothing but healthy hair. Always searching for the new, we introduce you to squalene, a raw ingredient that is sustainably resourced, that penetrates the hair shaft while hydrating and protecting, filling the hair with antioxidants. This ingredient works to fight free radicals. It is highly used in skincare because it mimics our body's natural oils, the natural oils that produce a lubricant and allows us to protect against dryness. We have used a form derived from sugarcane that when it's compounded, it becomes a colorless oil. These oils that come together to protect the hair. Squalene is also in plants, animals, and humans. Therefore, not making it only a new ingredient, but an essential ingredient to really care for the hair's needs. The hydrolipids during the color creates a barrier that preserves the elasticity and the strength, allowing the hair to regenerate, leaving it ultra healthy with a tremendous amount of shine. The keys behind it are what make it so unique. Insta Tone consists of 14 shades. We call them 14 shades of perfection, and a clear. The clear is not only used for shine, but the clear is used to achieve higher levels of color, meaning we can go from a level 9 of color to a level 12 by simply adding 1 part of color to 3 parts of clear, or a level 8 to a level 10 by adding equal parts of color to equal parts of clear, creating personal color choices. We have created colors that are warm, colors that are cool, colors that can be blended together or simply just used alone. Following our EcoTech coloring system, our shades are numbered for the ease of understanding. Our Nordic blondes are icy and cool, a 911, a 917, and a 97. Our champagne blondes are creamy and frosty, 913, a 927, and a 937. And our warm blondes are inviting, 963, 813, and an 823. Then we move into our vibrants, and our vibrants attract the eye, 844, 876, 766. We have 2 tone base colors, a level 5, a dark, cool metal brown, and a level 6, a warm, melted cocoa brown that together add dimension and add shine. Our clear, it's the ultimate in shine, but it also allows you to customize and create personal choice of color. To further explain what that means, if you choose, for instance, a 963 and want to bring it to a color of a level 1063, all you need to add is 1 part of color and 2 parts of clear. Or if you choose to bring a 963 to an 1163, you add equal parts of color and equal parts of clear. A 963 up to a 1263, 3 parts of clear, 1 part of color. As we move in to the explanation, we'll go into further detail. The beauty of it is that 1 shade becomes 3 different values of tone. So therefore, it's not only 14 colors, it's a series of colors that continue to grow as you continue to work. Two liquids that come together that create a gel, our color and our solution. The solution can be utilized in many ways. It can be mixed 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5, or 1 to 2, depending on the strength that you want to achieve. The beauty is that the blend of color and the blend of solution will stay in this gel base, this gel consistency, no matter what your ratio of color may be. 1 to 1 will give you a full saturation of color. 1 to 1.5 will give you a lower level of color. And 1 to 2 works as a beautiful veil of color. These together make it achievable for you to get any tone you want. When we're talking about the application and the ease of use of Insta Tone, we really wanted to make sure that it was something that you could bring into your salons and be able to share with them, not as something only new, but as an additional option. Insta Tone will add value to our color world as it gives them additional choices. The ease of mix, we're going to go through that right now. We start with our color. We've chosen today to use a 927. And the 927 is going to give me that perfect balance of beige with that touch of violet, but it's going to also give me a little bit of more of a vibrant pink cast because it has a beautiful hue of violet, which makes it more of a rose, peachy, golden color, which you'll be able to see. And then I'm going to bring it down with our clear because I've chosen to use it into a level 10, an applicator bottle and our solution. 3 components that work instantly to modify and change the hair. I'm going to bring in our model. And our model, you'll see her when she comes in, who is a very light blonde. She's about a level 12, I would say, or a level 11. So if you just bear with me a second, we'll get her here. And then I'll show you how we're going to mix it. But prior to the mix, I'd like you to see her natural hair color. And then we can go in and show the ease of application. So on Heidi, you start with wet hair. Insta Tone is applied on freshly shampooed, towel-dried hair. Remember, it's a toner, so it works instantly to tone. 90% of the time, when you're using a toner, you're using it on wet hair, but you want to towel dry it to remove the excess moisture. Anytime that you're dealing with moisture, you want to think of it as a sponge. Wet hair absorbs color more than dry hair when you're dealing especially with the tonal value of color. So on Heidi, we're going to take our color for Heidi, and we're going to use the full bottle, which is a 2 ounce, and I'm just going to apply it straight into the bottle. So we have 2 ounces of color. And 1 ounce of clear. So I have 3 ounces altogether, 90 mLs. I'm going to shake my solution. Remember, the solution is what carries the squalene. So Insta Tone needs to be mixed with its solution. It's not to subsidize a different solution or to use any other one, but it must be mixed with its solution, as the two together is what's going to create the gel form. And I'm going to use equal parts. We spoke about using 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2, depending on the strength of color that I've chosen. But with Heidi, we've decided to go to the full level. So 1 to 1 is going to give me exactly what she needs and what we had decided to do. You can see the two that come together in a very easy manner. And then when you shake it, the gel base instantly blends. It's an easy blend. You're not sitting there shaking vigorously. The two components work together to give you the need and to give you the consistency that makes the application quick, instant. There's a reason that it's called Insta Tone. From the beginning to the end, it works instantaneously. I'm going to start Heidi directly all throughout the whole entire head, and I'm just going to apply it combing her hair. I'm actually going to apply it. Normally she would be in our care bar. And I'm just going to basically apply it on the front area where she wants to see more strength of color in a very fluid motion. And then I'm going to work it with my hands. And as I'm working it with my hands, you'll see that it just easily glides onto the hair. And the minute that it glides onto the hair, the activation starts throughout the entire head of hair. So if I was definitely at my care bar, I would be able to just go in a circular motion, apply it all over the hair like I'm doing right now, work the product through with my hands, and then comb it for ease of distribution. Again, I'm working with fine hair, but yet you can see that I'm able to get right through the hair without any hesitation. It combs right through. I'm able to saturate. And I have just beautiful gel-like finish. You need to create a wet look to the hair so that you get the color evenly distributed all the way around. And you can see the shine starting to take place. The gel consistency really adheres to the hair and it gives it that ultra shine. So I'm going to continue applying this throughout Heidi's hair. And we're just going to use it in this manner with my hands, and then I'll comb it. And as we allow Heidi to process, we determine the processing time. So processing time can be anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, as we said in the presentation. That's up to your eye, and that's up to what personal color you and your model or your client want to achieve. Remember, if time is a factor right now more than ever in our salons, our clients want to be in and out in no time. So once you've done your bleach, or once you've done a few highlights or a balayage, you need to be able to tone it and work it fairly quickly. No heat required, which makes it a unique flash of color, knowing that you're able to apply it, let it sit in the bowl or let it sit in the styling station, and really just get it fully saturated. So as you can see, as I'm working it, the color is evenly distributed in a very quick manner and easily to get through. So where I want more saturation of color is where I began, which is the front. And now I move to the back. When I'm working with Insta Tone and I'm working with ends that are maybe a little bit lighter or they don't have the heat of the body, I always tend to apply directly all over and then I'll apply on the root. Remember, body heat is always something that you want to consider. But if you're working and you want to cover a little bit more or eliminate gold, then you would start directly at the root. So depending what you want to achieve is how you would start. And you can see that she is fully saturated in an Insta. It took literally what? 2 minutes at the most to get it through. And Heidi will end up with this beautiful hue of color that will last her anywhere from 5 to 10 to 14 shampoos. That depends on the timing that you leave it on her hair. So if you're leaving it maybe 10 minutes or you've diluted it down with the solution, then you're going to have less longevity. The longer the timing, if you leave it the full 20 minutes and you've gone full strength 1-to-1, then you will have a longer lasting result. Just like any tonal value that you're using in the hair, Insta Tone will work in the same manner, but with a faster speed. fully saturated. I'm going to lightly pull Heidi's hair all to the top, and you can see the full saturation. The color is starting to take effect, and we'll be able to see Heidi in anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. We'll take a look at it to see our level of hue, of value, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm going to ask Heidi to step away as she processes. And we'll continue. So the staining on the hands is very minimal, but as always, we recommend wearing gloves. Just like any color, you want to make sure that you have protection. So now to share the excitement of what Insta Tone is all about, the vibrancy, the beauty, the perfection. I called it 14 shades of perfection. So why? Well, let me show you exactly why. Let's start with our vibrance. Some of my favorites, we know we've got vibrant colors when it comes to our Playful Brights, when it comes to our stained glass, when it comes to even our metallics. But what makes this so different is that it's in an instant. It's a gel. It's not just an acid color. It's a color that is worked as a tonal color to tone down the hues or to add vibrancy, depending on what you need. As we said before, it came at the perfect time, where clients don't want to spend a lot of time in the salon, where they want the choice, to change their look, where they want to feel the quality of their hair. Many months, almost a year has passed where we haven't seen some of our clients, and the quality of the hair is of what's important. I'm going to share doll heads with you today. Doll heads that were not pre-treated, doll heads that were just applied directly with Insta Tone to show you the benefits and the quality that you're able to achieve. So let's start with our 844. We talked about it being one of our vibrants. We created 2 looks for you today. And the reason we created 2 looks is because we wanted to share with you and show you the vibrancy at its maximum, and then the beauty and the natural tone that you can also achieve. Depending on what your desire is, that's exactly how you're going to get your results. So let's start with our vibrant. Our 844. 844 is a true copper. It's a base of double pigments of copper that come together to achieve this strong orange base on pre-lightened hair. The beauty of it is that you can take your 844 and bring it down to a level 12 on top of pre-bleached hair and get the beautiful results of more of a sherbet tone. So depending on your tonal value and what you choose to use, I can go from a bright orange all the way to a sherbet. The base of the color that was used was exactly as we spoke. Something like what we showed you with Heidi, a true yellow. So it really went in 20 minutes to not only cover the hair, but to give you even distribution. From roots to ends, you'll see this perfect sherbet tone or this strong color to where you're actually going in and seeing a play. As clients, we're looking for options and they want choices. So I can take one color, put a color in the front, change a color in the back, and use it instantly in 20 minutes to give her 2 completely different tones. Depending on your choices is how you're going to receive the results. The same color, as we spoke about before, we have one color mixed with different choices, you get different hues. 844 on a brunette version gives you a true natural copper look. So when we're talking about a true natural copper look, you want to be able to apply it directly and know that you're going to get that full saturation once again, but yet it's very natural. It feels like nothing has happened. Bright copper red in the front, or what I like to call our Queen's Gamut in the back. You can see the natural base of her color is more of a level 7. And the level 7 on top with 3 parts of 844 and 1 part of color gave me just a beautiful strawberry blonde, which makes it look very natural and real. Moving to the front, it looks just like a real redhead, period. It's that simple. So it just gives you that beautiful tonality. And this is part of our series of our vibrance, our 844. The colors continue, and we continue, as we said, with our vibrance. And our vibrance, we're going to start with our 766 on our bleached head of hair and our 766 on a brown head of hair. Again, the versatility, depending on the color you choose, is where you're going to get that versatility. So when I'm talking about, let me make you a fiery red, something that's going to promote the shine, that's going to allow your hair to pop, the vibrancy where eyes will turn, is when I will pick up, especially if she's wanting to be a redhead, I will pick up my 766 and apply it equal parts, 1 part color, 1 part solution, 20 minutes, and you're able to see the beauty and the tonality. When I moved to the back, I actually mixed 3 parts of clear and 1 part of color. Again, equal solution, 20 minutes. The key behind it is really the longevity of time. You can see the natural base as well as the vibrancy behind it. The shine, the luster, the quality of hair is truly unique and unlike anything else. Bringing it into more of a natural color, more into a brown blonde. So again, we're dealing with a level 7, and a level 7 is a dark blonde. You can see her dark blonde from underneath. The dark blonde with the 766 on top just gives you more of that bricky, warm brown shade. But then when I move to the front, I'm able to see that vibrancy and that red tone on 1-to-1. Quality of hair, exceptional color. These colors that come together that really allow you to create versatility, shine, and luster. I wanted to show the play of both colors depending on what color head you use. And the reason behind that is because maybe you have a blonde come in and the blonde says to you, I'm looking for a change. And maybe her change necessarily isn't to go completely dark, but to tone it down or add some play of color. Or the brunette comes in and she says, I need a change. And a lot of times when we think, oh, I need a change on a brunette, we automatically go to, let's put some highlights. Let's add a golden touch. But maybe they need that vibrancy. Our vibrance truly allow you to achieve those different looks with them. So speaking of brunettes, we knew we had to launch some neutral tones. And neutral tones are a base. But with a level 5 and a level 6, you're able to create different levels. My 5 can go up to an 8, and my 6 can bring me all the way to a 9. So I have that versatility within my range of color to be able to offer different choices to my salon, my stylist, as well as my clients. We'll start with the level 6, and we're going to just put them directly together. The level 5, as you can see, is truly a cool metal brown. It's a level 5 that actually takes the depth or adds the depth into the hair and takes the warmth away. Our level 6 is that warm cocoa melted chocolate that actually puts the warmth back into the hair. So you're playing with 2 different levels. Also, they can be mixed together. So let's say you're looking for a warm, cool shade. You can mix the 5 and the 6 and achieve that perfect balance of not too cool or not too warm. The colors that combine together are unique. We've played with pigments so that you're able to have several options. Starting with our 6. Our 6, 1-to-1, as you can see, gives you that perfect chocolate hue, or diluted down 1 to 3. So it's now a level 9. You can see it is a perfect balanced brown. And when applied, a very slight difference on the level 7 that she had underneath. But what that difference did is it took maybe a drabby brown and it warmed it up, giving it that perfection of color, and yet that very new modern look to it of allowing the hair to bleed from darker all the way back to something lighter, giving them choices of techniques as well as color options. Our 5. When we talk about it being a cool metal brown, you can definitely see the cool tone that runs through it. And that cool tone plays all the way to the back as well when we're mixing it 1-to-4 or 1-to-3, excuse me. So 1-to-3 mix gives you that same reflection, but yet it's a cooler tone. And that consistency makes it just so easy to apply, going from a dark to a light to a medium. You can utilize it in so many different ways with so many different options. Our bases can be mixed with our vibrants. Our bases can be mixed to darken one of our lighter tones. They are truly balanced. So if you're, for instance, going to take a bright color and you want to deepen the root a little bit, you can interact with the 2. We're moving into our 876. And our 876 is fun. It's playful and it's also vibrant. But it's a vibrant in a violet with a touch of rose cast. So what happens with that? Anytime you're dealing with just the levels or a violet, you're going to get more of a cooler shade. Therefore, it looks a little bit darker. We've added just a pinch of 6 to it so that you're able to see that definition of the rose behind it, especially as it washes away. So we have to keep those things in mind. What's the longevity? What's the washout? When it washes out, what is the tonal value? Each color was perfectly balanced so that the client can achieve different tones from the beginning all the way to the end of her service, where she's due to come back in and start all over again. Our 876, 1-to-1 in the front, full strength. And as we move to the back, you'll see that it's this beautiful, icy, violet tone, 1-to-3 and equal parts of solution. So as I move her hair, you're able to see the tonal value behind it. Once again, we've dealt with a very yellow base. So the yellow base and the Insta Tone on top, you can see that icy reflection. It's a play of color that really gives the possibilities of creating many multiple tones. Our 963. Our 963 actually is what we're going to be seeing on Heidi. But the difference is 963 full force, 1-to-1 again, 20 minutes, equal parts solution. And then as we move to the back, I've created more of a rose color, very light pink on top of a very yellow base. And the yellow base is underneath. Used alone or used with tone, you can see the lightness, the pink value behind it, very slight cast. But then when combed back, you can see the yellow hue. (913). What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring out the 913 and the 813. And the reason behind that is because I think this is a great example of how one color or two different colors with one level of difference can make all the difference in the world. So when we're talking about a 913, you'll see that the 913 gives you more of a cooler base, or the ash is more dominant, as opposed to the 813, where you're getting the depth and the gold becomes more dominant. Same color when it comes to the undertones, but because of the level, you're actually seeing a complete different color. I'm going to actually tilt them down. When you tilt them down, you're really able to see the exposure of the colors. Well, let's see, hold on a second here. There we go. Okay, so tilted down, you can actually see the reflection of the gold coming through and the coolness of the one coming through, the 1-3. So even though it has that little bit of warm shade to it, it's actually very cool. And the 813, even though it has a little bit of that cool shade to it, it's actually more of a warmer base. I love to call this one our perfect champagne, because it definitely looks like a glass of champagne. 813, full strength in the front, full strength of color. One, we're going to leave that for a second. 1 to equal parts. And then as we move to the back, you're actually really able to see the tonal value of this one. So this is full strength. This is 1 to 4, 1 to 3. Here I go again with that. And then equal, and then nothing. So even just that beauty of showing and presenting maybe your clients to a new way of color by maybe doing 1 or 2 heads, to have them exposed and to really show them what is new and how we can really demonstrate new color for them. And then the 913. 913 is also in our categories of our cool ashes. Because as we said, even though it has the 3 inside of it, the pigment, the undertone pigment, is more of an ash tone. Full strength in the front, 3 parts of clear in the back to 1 part of color, and then together, you can see the tonal value. Okay. The hairs of quality, of shine, and of condition. Thank you. Our next color is our 937. And a 937 is a color that's going to add the warmth, but it's going to work on reverse. It's going to add the warmth, and then it's going to add the violet tone. So it's going to give you that perfect balance of a 3 and a 7 under a level 9. Again, very light, creamy. It's definitely like an icy color, more of a melted ice, or after a snowfall where the ice starts melting, you're actually able to see that dimension that the dirt hits. And therefore, you're going to really see that tonal value. 1 to 1 in the front. And as we move to the back, you have 1 to 3. When I comb it a certain direction is when you can really see the difference in the color. So the difference in the color is what's allowing you to play. And then when we open it, you'll definitely see how much more golden the doll was compared to the tone that we put on top. So at times you might think, well, is there that much of a difference? The beauty behind it is when we do open it for you, you can see the difference. It's not only the front that's making a difference, but it's actually the 1 to 3 that's making a difference. Toners are of utmost importance when it comes to bleaching hair. You want to bring the quality back to hair. The tone is going to give you value as well as hue. You determine. You can go as easy as 1 to 1 or as soft as 1 to 3. (927). 927. Oh, you know what? This is the color we put on Heidi. I had thought we put the 963. So now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is Heidi's color. So you'll definitely see this on Heidi. At first, we had spoken this morning about that. Excuse me. So 927. It's actually become one of the favorites here at Icon. And that's probably why we've changed her. Why? Because it's a beige with a violet hue. And therefore, you get those undertones of really just warm, but yet very cool. The two that combine together give it that perfect balance. Full strength of 927 in the front. And then as we move to the back, you're dealing with a lighter shade. And then as we move to the bottom, you're actually able to see the natural color. And just combing it like that, you can truly see the beauty of the colors that come into play and how they all melt together. Our 9-7. 9-7 is your perfect choice to cancel out yellow. We know that anytime you're bleaching, especially if you're doing a full bleach root application, you're always stuck with that little undertone of yellow, that stubborn yellow shade that doesn't come out. A 9-7 is going to address that need. It's strong enough in pigment that's going to erase that yellow, but yet it's going to give you that very light violet cast, 1 to 1. If you decide that you're wanting something a little bit less potent, not so strong, that's when you will move to the lighter shade. And again, bringing it down to a level 12, or bringing it up, I should say, to a level 12, you're getting that icy, beautiful tone of not quite silver, but just very cool. Her undertone is extremely yellow, and the top tone is more silvery. And as we move to the front, you're just getting a cooler, more lavender effect. 9-7 is also going to be one of our very popular ones, but I'd like to bring out at the same time the 9-1-7. So we're going to leave the 9-7 here and bring out the 9-1-7. So what we've done is we've created, I'm just going to, right there, thank you. What we've done is we've created a 1-7. And the reason behind that, because sometimes you're still dealing with a little bit of warmth. So even though you have a yellow undertone, it can tend to pull maybe a little more coppery or a little more red. The 1 will cancel that out, and the 7 will give it the reflection of the violet tone that it needs. So I actually refer to this in our studio, in our lab studio, as our magic eraser to yellow, because it goes in and it erases all of the yellow as well as any warm undertone that you may have. Straight 9-1-7 with solution, 20 minutes, and then 917 with 3 parts and solution. Equal parts of solution, the entire process. Her yellow tone. Right? I'm going to bring out my 7 again, just so that hopefully on your cameras you can see. And once again, I'll tilt the heads down because that's where you're really seeing those undertones come into place. 917 and 97. So I'm not sure if you're able to notice it, but you definitely see more of an ashier tone as opposed to more of a violet tone. That's where you're going to have the hue of difference. Eight, 2, 3. A perfect California golden blonde. You know, here in California, the sun never stops shining. Right now, where shining goes well. So what happens? Hair becomes golden. It's known for the kiss of California, the golden blonde. 823 will take that brassy golden blonde and bring it down to a more desirable golden blonde, more of a blonde that actually plays a beautiful part in the hair. Full strength, it's a beigey blonde and brought down to a level 11 actually becomes the perfect blonde. So it's the perfect blonde on yellow hair. As we pull it all the way back, the tonal values that you're able to see. And last of the colors that I want to share with you is our 911. 911 is our gunmetal gray, the perfect gray, the gray that 90% of the market wants to achieve. They're looking for that perfect silver without it looking too blue or too red or too violet. It's a perfect balance, or too ashy. It's the perfect balance of a double pigment of ash that actually goes in there, protects the hair, and gives you an amazing tone. Applied 1-to-1, you get that strong silvery look. And then applied 1-to-4 is where you're going to get more of that ashy tone, where it actually starts looking a little bit more like an antique or more of a nickel. So it's got that little bit or that little hue of, I don't want to say green, but more of an antique look to it, but yet that perfect balance. Put on lightened hair, yellow hair, you can see how it actually went in and canceled all of the yellow in the hair. 911 is not only ideal for blondes, but it works perfectly on brunettes. If you have a brunette that tends to pull a lot of red in their hair and they're constantly looking for something a little bit cooler, but they don't want to change their tonal value, a 911 is their answer. You can apply it directly at the care bar once you've done your color, leave it 5 to 10 minutes, and it'll tone down any warmth instantly. All these colors are designed to tone down the color that you've chosen to use. For example, I choose to use it on a brunette, as I just said, my 911. It's going to tone down any warmth. I choose to use it on a redhead for color correction. It's going to eliminate all of that red. Or I just choose to use it on a blonde that I've just bleached out and I want to create that perfect silver base. I'm able to achieve that. 14 shades, an endless amount of possibilities. The colors all work together, creating an array of color That's unlimited. You're able to go from one tone to the next tone. The colors can be blended together. There's no heat required. It's instant gratification. That's what our clients are looking for. That's what our clients need. It is answering instantly what we're looking for. I'd like to see if Heidi is ready and get her back in position. So what we're going to do really quickly is we're going to put our video back on for you while we bring Heidi out. Welcome back. So as I was saying before, we utilized Heidi as our model because she does have very light hair. We brought her up to a level 12, I would say, and now we needed to bring her down. With Heidi, we chose to use our same color as our 927, and I wanted to bring out the doll head so that you can see the difference. Remember, when we talked about the doll head, we used 1 part color to 1 part solution. And then towards the back, we used 1 part color, 3 parts of clear, and equal solution. When it came to Heidi, we didn't go full strength to the front, or we didn't go full strength. We used 1 part color, 1 part clear, and equal of the solution. So you can see the difference that it makes, but yet the quality of the hair. So Heidi's hair is even distributed from roots to ends. The color is of perfection, and the shine and the quality of her hair. Nothing was added to Heidi's hair. We let it just process and then blow dry. You can see the undertone, the value of her hair color, and the shine of her hair. It actually goes in and fortifies and strengthens the hair. Remember, we talked about squalene, and what squalene was going to do to the hair is actually going to strengthen the hair and give it the luster and the shine by adding the nutrients and the hydration. Heidi's hair is of quality, of shine, and of even tonality from roots to ends. Her ends were lighter, and the even tone that runs all the way through. We've made her a perfect champagne blonde. Thank you, Heidi. So with all of that being said, Insta Tone, color, clear, and solution. The 3 come together to give you longevity, color, quality, and everlasting. But before we wrap up, and because you're in our R&D lab or our salon lab, I'd like to share with you a little bit of what's new, what's up and coming. COVID might have stopped us all from travel, from being able to connect, but it didn't stop Icon to look into the future. We continue to work. We continue to explore new ideas, what we're working on. 2022 calendar looks stronger than ever. 2021, we've launched you Insta Tones and more to come. As we continue to grow and we continue to evolve, my commitment will be to continue to look for new, exciting, and raw materials that make a difference, not only to our environment, but to our industry. I'm excited about a new project, and it's not Insta Tone, something that will actually change the way we bleach hair. Maybe a magic drop that will cancel out any yellow undertones. There's new to come. There's elixirs. There's organics that are going to take a new approach. As we continue to grow, we'll all continue to grow. I look forward to the time where we can all unite together. And I wish everyone nothing but health and prosperity. From our home to Icon to your home in your worlds, I thank you for the time together. Have a wonderful evening and have a great morning. Until next time.